what's up fellow drivers? David here. This is going to be kind of a random video, but I haven't posted one in a long time and I just kind of wanted to share some things that have been happening. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. So, the first thing that I want to talk about is the garage door, which you can see right behind me here. Believe it or not, my garage door has been broken for years, okay? So, the motor hasn't been working, so I've had to manually go over here and actually lift up the door every time I want to get in and out of here. And then of course that means it's not locking, so I'd have to go over here and manually use like a deadbolt thing to lock the door every time I came home. And I've been putting up with that for a really long time. So yeah, probably not all of that exciting for the rest of you guys, but definitely exciting for me because it's always like a major process, like getting in and out of the garage, because you know, I pull up to the garage, I get out of the car, lift up the door, get back in the car, fold in my mirrors, and which that'll be a thing that I'll get back to in just a second, pull into the garage, and then manually close the garage door, and then go in through the house, in here, lock it, and it's just like, it's ridiculous. But I've joined the modern world again, and I have a motorized garage door. Second thing that I want to talk about is what is in the thumbnail there, what you guys are probably really wondering. No, I didn't sell the MR2, and I did not sell the GTR, but you'll notice that I have this space here. So I did sell the motorcycle. And I know the motorcycle hasn't been in my channel all that much. I did do a whole video on it where I talked about the bike, and I went for a little ride on it, but I'm definitely more car focused, and I just wasn't getting the use out of the bike that it deserved. I rode it very rarely. It was basically in hibernation all last year, and it made things a very tight fit, which is why I used to have to fold in my mirrors every time I'd come in and park, because it was literally a tight squeeze. And like, to get in and out of the GTR here, I had to barely squeeze my way in. I couldn't even open the door more than like a crack, otherwise I'd hit the bike over here. So it's great to have the space to be able to actually move around in here. And yeah, got a little extra cash, and the bike will go to somebody that will actually enjoy it. So I was kind of sad to see it go, but it's really for the best. The other thing that I haven't sold yet, but I am selling, are my TRD springs. You can see they're all lined up here next to the GTR. This is the complete assembly. So I have, of course, all the things to actually mount it here. And they come with the Coney yellows, which are kind of worn out, but they can get a refresh. And the TRD springs are in perfect condition. So if any of you guys are interested in buying them, they are extremely hard to find TRD springs. They are definitely made out of unobtainium, as they say. So comment below or hit me up on Instagram if you want to buy these TRD springs. I'm selling them all together as a set with the Coney yellows and everything. So yeah, if any of you guys, any of my subscribers want to check it out and buy it, just let me know. The last thing I'll talk about as far as selling things is potentially these, but I don't know if I want to get rid of them or not. So on the last round of TRD series that I won at Chuckwalla, I actually won those iBox sway bars as a prize, but they didn't have anything that they made for the MR2, of course, because the MR2 is super old and nobody makes anything for it anymore. So they gave me ones for the GTR, but I don't know if I actually want to put them on. So I don't know. Also, please let me know if you guys think I should use these. Personally, I've never been a really big fan of iBox. Although I've heard some people have said that iBox does actually make some good sway bars for the GTR as opposed to some of the other brands out there. Also, I don't really track the GTR, so I don't know. I just don't know if it's worth it. So I might be selling these, but let me know what you guys think about these, and if you think I should put them on the car or sell them or what. So both cars have actually been sitting for quite a while, and we'll talk about the MR2 in a second, but the GTR has been kind of waiting on some fluid changes, and they're ones that I was coming up to kind of past due on time, but I hadn't ever reached the recommended mileage. But I was like, I don't know, should I do it, should I not? I decided it wasn't worth pinching pennies. I might as well change the fluids and you know, better safe than sorry. Also, these are all fluids that I don't think have ever been changed before. I'm the second owner, and as far as I know, they weren't, because there's really wouldn't have been a reason to before. The car, you know, has very low mileage on it. But I went to SP Engineering. Some of you guys, I'm sure, have heard of them. SP Engineering is a very well-known shop. They're, you know, ever since like the 90s, I think, they've built all kinds of cars and tuned them with like the Supra, the RX-7. They've won a lot of awards and won races in drag racing and time attack. In fact, most recently, they won the global time attack with a GTR, and it set a new record for the unlimited all-wheel drive class. So it was cool to get to go to SP Engineering. Of course, you know, I didn't really do any mods. I didn't get them to build the car or anything, but who knows, maybe eventually I will consider that. But yeah, it was cool to go there. You know, I know they're legit. It was like half the price that it was going to be if I actually went to the Nissan dealership. So, you know, this way I got to buy my own fluids. I went with pretty much all Motul. And yeah, so now it has the transmission fluid changed, the front and rear diff, as well as the engine coolant and brake fluid. I didn't do engine oil because I still have like a couple thousand miles, and of course I just change engine oil, you know, whenever I need to do that. In fact, actually, speaking of engine oil, that's the one thing that was kind of annoying about my experience with SP Engineering. Sorry for the beeping, that might be annoying. But they reset, let's go through its whole little startup thing. If I go to info, you can see there's a maintenance section, and they reset my engine oil. I don't know why they did that. So either I got a free engine oil change, I doubt it. They just reset my gauge for no reason, which is annoying, but fortunately I have records of when it was actually changed so I can calculate the mileage. So that brings us back to the MR2, and it's been sitting pretty much since the last round, or round 2 of TRD series, and it's because it needs brake servicing. Now normally I just change the brake pads and do whatever myself, but it has something else. So a certain shop did a brake fluid flush on it, and get this towel out of the way, and it was dripping. So you can't see it here because it's kind of shadowed, and it's actually worse over on the driver's side, but it's ruining the finish. So they were nice enough to pay for it, but I just haven't actually gotten the work done yet because the shop that's going to do it, that's going to fix it, hasn't been available. But basically I'm going to get these recoated, both the front and the rear, and it has to be totally reassembled. And of course that's just a whole thing that I can't do myself. I can't do the coating, obviously. Also, I'll get new brake pads, resurface my 2-piece rotors here. This will be the first time that they're being resurfaced, so I don't think I actually have to replace the friction disc yet. But yeah, it's kind of been just chilling here. So it's been great to drive the GTR again, you know, and at least have some fun, because it's been sitting and I can't drive this, and I miss driving it. And yeah, that brings me to one last thing. The Lexus is currently getting serviced. This is the loaner car. So we went from a V6, 2.5 liter V6 to now a 2 liter turbo. It does technically have more power, but I don't know, it feels kind of sluggish unless you really put your foot in it. I mean, it's not supposed to be a super fast car, but I don't know, it definitely isn't. Things that I do like about it, I really like this whole interior design. I think it looks really good. Here, it's actually really hot, so let's crank that AC. I don't know, it rides really well. It's a cool car, but personally, I don't think I would get this. I actually prefer the older generation or something else. All right, so just wanted to give you an update on what's been happening lately. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I have several videos planned, like some list videos, because everybody likes list videos. Also some funny skits, and of course more track days when those come up. Sorry for not making videos recently. It's just been kind of a hectic time, but I'm gonna go meet up with some friends, so I'll leave you guys with some scenes of our meet.